To start our clock project, you first have to learn what a MovieClip is. So we're going to do a very quick sample here to kind of get the ball rolling. First thing I did is I took my line tool and I created a V, which you're going to be doing as well. Once I took my V, I take my move tool right here in the top left, and I can bend the V to look like this. And then it almost looks like one of those birds you used to draw in second grade. We're going to take this bird and we're going to convert it into a MovieClip, and we're going to make its wings flap, and we're going to make it look like it flies closer and farther away to us using tweens. That's kind of the plan. So the first thing we're going to do is we have to select it. And you know that you can either select it by clicking, dragging over it, or you can click on the first keyframe. To convert it to a MovieClip, you have to go to Modify, Convert to Symbol. When the window pops up, we need to first name it, so we're going to call it Bird. We need to set it up as a MovieClip, and we need to make sure the registration is set for the center. We'll explain more about that later on. Once I hit OK, you'll notice that it gets grouped together in a blue binding box. If I double click on the box, notice that it breaks apart my bird. I see the little white dots. And it tells me underneath the timeline, or above the timeline, that we're inside the bird MovieClip. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a new keyframe. So if I hit F6, you'll see I just add a new keyframe to the timeline. I'm going to take the tip of the wing and I'm going to pull it down a little bit and do the same on the other side. At this point, it might be a good idea to use your onion skins. We've used that before. Turn the onion skins on so you can see where we were the frame before. And I'm going to hit F6 again. And I'm going to pull the wing down a third time. Hit F6 again to create a new keyframe. Pull it down again. And so now we have an animation of a bird with its wings flapping down. Now we're creating a cycle, so we need it to go back up. So again, we're going to hit F6, and then we're going to start moving these arms, or the wings, back up to the original position. So when it loops through, it looks fluid. And it might be a really good idea to turn your onion skins back on to make sure it works. So I'm going to turn the onion skins on again. And remember, you can adjust the onion skins by grabbing this little handle and pulling it back. And now I can see where I started. And you can tell right here I could probably go one more frame and pull it up a little bit higher. So I'll add in that other frame. I'll put it up just a little bit higher. And when we hit return, you can see the wings flapping. So that's good. Now, what's the difference between that and doing a normal frame-by-frame animation? Well, here's how it works. If I go back and click on scene 1, you'll notice the timeline disappears. And now we have all in one frame. So what's happening is we basically have two timelines. We have one on the main timeline, and then we have one inside the MovieClip. If I go to Control Test Movie right now, it'll open up an SWF file, and you can see the wings flapping, even though on our timeline we only have one frame. So how that helps us is if we go back to the main frame and say I drag it left of the stage, I'll pick 60 frames and I will hit F6. So this will be our duration, so it'll be roughly about 4 seconds. I take my MovieClip and I drag it to the other side of the stage. I click and hold and create a classic tween. Again, we're using a classic tween because we have a keyframe both at the beginning and at the end. Now in the working document, you notice the wings don't flap. It just looks like it's moving across. But if we go to Control Test Movie, it loops with the bird flapping its wings moving across the stage. If we want it to look like it's getting closer to us, then we simply go to the last frame. And we take our Convert tool, our Transform tool, and I make it larger, and now it looks like it's flying towards us. So let's Control Test Movie again, test. Now what would have taken us many minutes and 60 frames to do a frame by frame, we can do it in less than 5 minutes. So this is how we're going to start our movie clips.